Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube video. Today I'm going to show you how to Dockerize a Postgres SQL using AWS EC2. So the essence of this video is to show you how you can have your Postgres database hosted on AWS EC2 server, and then I'm also going to show you how you can make this server accessible remotely by other users. So the first thing I'm going to do is to create the EC2 instance. So I'm in my AWS dashboard. So you see I have it on my recently visited services. If you don't, you just come here, just type EC2. So I'm going to create an EC2. Okay, at the moment, I don't have any EC2 running. So I'm going to create one for this. So I'll come here, launch EC2. So we're going to be using, let me call the name of the EC2. Let me just call it PostgreSQL. That's just the name. So we're going to be using Ubuntu server. So I'm going to be using Ubuntu 22.04. So I'm going to be using this server, this Ubuntu image for my server. And here, I'm going to be using T2 Micro. Here, I'm asked to select key pairs. So for this video, I want to use AWS EC2 Connect. So I'm not going to be using key pair. But if you need to use key pair so that you can access it from your system, it's fine. So you just come here and create new key pair. So once you create it, let me show you, create new key pair. You click on pen, leave it this way. So you put the key pair name, then you create it, and you have to save this because you will need the data to be able to access it into your server. So you have to, the moment you are done creating it, will download automatically. So you should save it. So, but I'm not doing that. I want to choose proceed without key pair. I don't want to use key pair. So, okay, create security group. I have some existing security group, but for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to create a new one. So let's call it Launch Wizard 4. That's the default name for the EC2, for the security group we're using for this. So I think I'm going to leave others as default. Allow SSH traffic, so from anywhere. So that's fine for what I want. So I think that's fine. So I'm going to launch the EC2 instance. Don't forget the name of our EC2 instance, PostgreSQL. So let's wait. Okay, I think it has launched successfully. Let me see. Okay, pending. This is it. This is it. You can see the server is pending. I'll wait until it turns to running. Okay, now it's running. So I'm going to launch it. If you see, this is your public IP to access this server. So let me just come to connect. I want to connect to it. Like I said, so if you are going to be using the key pair you downloaded, so you have to come here and then follow these instructions. You see, you just need, this is what you will need. So the key pair, you have to follow it and put in the key pair here according to the part where you have it. So, but I'm not using key pair, so I'm going to be using this. So I want to use the AWS Instance Connect. So the advantage of this is that it will launch my terminal on the on my what do I call it now? It will launch it on my browser. So it has launched it on my browser, and you can see this is it. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to start the installation. So the first step is for you to have this your ec2 instance launched. So I have my ec2 instance launched. So now I want to start the next step, which is the installation of Docker. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to be copying some codes. In this video, I will give you the repository for these files so that you can see them. So I'm going to be copying some of these codes, which I already listed out. Now, the essence of this code is to do, as you can see, updates on this server and then upgrade it. So I put -y, that means yes to everything, so that it won't need to ask me question. So you can see it's updating the packages on the server. So after the update is done, I have to use So in the process of this update, maybe you get to a place where you see this screen, just escape. I'm not doing anything with this, so you just press escape, escape. Okay, so okay, my installation is completed now. So the next thing now is so I've done the update of the packages on this. So after the update has been done, the next thing is to install some packages which will allow us to be able to make the Docker installation. So I'm going to just copy the code and paste it here. So you can see, so this, so launch it. So the installation for that is completed. So the next thing is to add a Docker official GPG key. So this is the code. So you add this, then you add this next code. I'm going to drop these codes in the video. You add this. Then the next thing is to set up the repository. So this is the code to do this. Just follow these instructions. So after that, then we want to do an update. So do an update again on the apt-get. Okay, the update is done. That was fast. So now the next thing is to do installation. So I have to install the latest version of some Docker tools which are needed to run the Docker properly. So I need Docker CLI, Docker Compose, and all of that. So these are those things. So I'm getting this update. So just put in this code so it will update everything. It's asking you, do you want to continue? Press Y, which is yes. So with this, you update all the Docker tools which you need. So on this screen, just press escape. Press escape. Okay, so it has been updated. So let's check our Docker version to be sure that we have Docker running. Docker-v. Okay, you see, so I have a Docker of this version running on this server now. So this very server already has Docker on it at the moment. So I need to be sure if the Docker is running. So, and for you to do that, you just come here and type system ctl status Docker. Okay, I want it to be on one page, so I'll just put this no page. Now this will help it to load at once, so I won't need to be pressing Control C to come back. So you can see active running, so it means my Docker is running on this server. So the next thing after this is to, okay, now at this point, even though my Docker is running, I'm on Ubuntu as the username. So this Ubuntu username will not be able to access the Docker except I have to start using sudo command. So I don't want to use sudo command, so I want to make it easy for me. So I'm going to add this Ubuntu username to the Docker group, and this is the code I'm going to use to do that. For you to be sure what I'm saying, let me just put okay. So let me just add the code here. Now this code is going to add my username, which is this Ubuntu, to the Docker group. So with this username, I will be able to pull images from the Docker. If you do not, if you skip this stage, you would need a sudo command to anytime you need to use your Ubuntu, which might not even give you permission. So it's better you just go this way. So with this stage, for me to be sure, so I have to, let me be sure if it has been added. Just type ID $user. So I must see Docker there. Okay, this is Docker. So it means this my username has been added to Docker group. So with this username, I can be able to pull Docker images and do other Docker things, on this server. So, and there's something I also want to tell you, even though this has been added, it will still not be able to pull Docker. For instance, let me show you. Let me just do Docker images for you to get what I'm saying. You see, permission denied. Even though I've added this user to the this Ubuntu user to the Docker group, it's still telling me permission denied. So the way to do this is to either restart this server, or you had this simple code, which will also, the same thing what this code will do is to reset and restart this your terminal, and which is what I want to do. So you either had this code or you restart this server manually. So I don't want to restart it manually. Let me just add this. So it has refreshed it. So if I have to do Docker images now, it will give me a response. Oh, sorry, my Docker spelling is not correct. Images. Okay, you can see it's telling me I don't have, you can see if I had images on this, they will show here, but I don't have anything. That's why you're not seeing anything. But you can see that now I have permission to check the Docker repository. So after this stage, now the next thing we want to do is to make a pull for the Postgres which we want to use. So we have to pull a Postgres image. So, and the code to do that is this. I will add this code and I will explain it to you. Okay, now I'm going to explain this code. You can see Docker run. Docker run is the command. This is the name of the image. This is the name I want to give you. You can give this any name. So the password I want to use, oh, sorry, the username rather, is Postgres, and the password, I just use this password just for the video. And I'm saying I'm using this port. This port is the port where Postgres runs. So you have to declare this port here. And I'm saying, oh, Docker, Postgres, whatever you're going to do, attach it to this path. You can see this, so what all the data that will be pulled on this image will be attached to this path. So it will be under the /library/PostgreSQL/data. So that's it. And you have to add this -d for it to run in detachable mode. So that's the essence, it's part of the code. So I'm using Postgres and I'm using image, Alpine image for this image. So the Docker image I'm pulling it with Alpine image. So that's it. So you just press enter. So it will start pulling the Postgres. So it has pulled the Postgres. For me to be sure if it has pulled it, let me first check if I have any images. You can see this is the images Postgres and this is the tag name. You can see I have an image running. So this is the image I pulled. So let me check if it is running. There's a command docker ps. Yeah, so this is my image which is already running here. You can see status 30 seconds. So this is the age of the image. So I have my Docker image. I have my Postgres image running at the moment. You can see, and this is the port which I specify. So it's running fine now. And let me just give you this. Sometimes if you probably just want to know all the images running on the Docker, just put -a. So this command will load all other images, even when they are not running. But for this one, we only have one, so we're not going into that. So now we have our Postgres database running on this ec2. So the next thing which I'm going to do now is this. When I want this to be accessible remotely, and for you to make this accessible remotely on your AWS, there's something you have to edit there, which is our user, what's it called now, which is this security group, sorry. So I'm coming here. Don't forget our security group was something for launch wizard 4. So I'm going to come to this security group. You remember this security group when we were creating the ec2. So I want to edit the inbound rule. You can see the only inbound rule here. So you just click on it and then inbound rule, just edit. So the only inbound rule here at the moment is SSH. So it means it is only through SSH you will be able to reach this server. So but I want this to be reached through Postgres by remote users. So what I'm going to do is to add a new rule, and that rule will be post, where is it? Scroll down, you can see PostgreSQL. So I want it to be reachable everywhere. So I'm going to use everywhere. What this means is that anyone from anywhere will be able to reach this server. So you can be working with other users remotely. All they need is the IP of this ec2 server. So after doing this, just save. So with this, I just opened up my ec2 server so it can be accessed from other users. And of course, I'm not going to go into the details of how to access it, but if you have uh, Postgres terminal, I think this is, with this code, you will be able to access this server. So here, public IP address, which is what I show you. So you just have to, let me show you the what you will replace with this ec2 dashboard. Where is our instance again? Okay, this is it. So this is the public IP for this very server, public IP. So you just need to copy this IP and replace it here. So this is the port. I've opened up the port. So with this, you will be able to reach this server. So you can collaborate with other people to work on this and you will be fine. So that's it, guys. It's just a short video. I believe you enjoy it. I see you in my next video. Thank you.